Thank you for coming on the podcast, Adrian.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. So this is probably not the first podcast you've done.
No, it's not the first time.
So let's just get
Just
started
get to
and
it.
start on some topics. So it seems like everyone wants to move to Miami,
Yeah.
and I think we've figured out it's maybe three main reasons, and that's probably the weather, like the social life,
Yeah.
and then definitely business opportunity. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. The weather here in Miami is unbeatable.
So good.
People are literally just shivering away in different states. You got New York with a different snowstorm, or we don't even want to talk about the West Coast right now, but Miami weather is beautiful, especially in the wintertime. You can't beat
Exactly.
it. We're on the beach, or even here in the city, it's just always really nice.
So nice.
Social life, Miami doesn't miss a beat. You can be in either South Beach having a good time, Brickell, Midtown, Wynwood, you name it. And there's all different kinds of vibes that you can go to, whatever fits right for you. But
Yeah.
it's really a good time. There's a huge business opportunity here in Miami. I feel like almost just the networking scene is huge here.
Yeah.
You never know, you'll be at a club or even just at a normal bar. You do not know who you're going to talk to, and that person could be
Exactly.
your next business opportunity. And that's usually how it goes, right? Because everybody here is very business oriented. Everybody's looking for that next opportunity, that next dollar, and that's what we love to talk about. So we like
Right.
to have fun and we like to make money, and that's Miami.
That's so real. We like to have fun and we like to have money.
Yeah.
I love that. And I feel like there's so many different markets. There's
Yeah.
a little bit of everything. There's a lot of some things
Yeah.
and a lot of others, but
Yeah.
there's at least a little bit of everything. And especially even those niche kind of
Oh, yeah.
opportunities for people who want to do something totally different with a new
Yeah.
idea. There's always going to be someone else who's on board with that idea
Yeah.
or in that same business and kind of on
Absolutely.
that same path.
Absolutely. Or somebody that's going to put you onto a new path that you didn't even know about.
Yes,
Just
yes.
because it's so well mixed. It's a giant melting pot. For
Yeah.
Sure. I love it. And even for people that don't like to drink, there's like these opportunities at bars that have like mocktails. It's a really big culture where people like to socially network with each other without having to really get quote unquote drunk, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's great. Miami's really just the place that everybody wants to be. Either you vacation here and then you fall in love with it and you end up moving here.
Yeah. So a lot of people I know move from New York or up north down
Yeah.
to Miami specifically.
Yeah.
But I think just everyone at this point, it's a dream to live in Miami.
Yeah.
Whenever I tell people I live here, they're like, "Oh, really? How do you like it?" I'm like, "Love it. It's
Love
great."
it. Yeah, my parents were snowbirds, right? Well, they weren't really old when they moved here, but they came to Miami for their honeymoon. They came to South Beach, and then they fell in love with it, and a couple years later, they brought us here.
That's awesome.
And I had the pleasure of growing up here in Miami in the sunny side and still having like my friends in New York and that connection, but I wouldn't move back up there. Miami is
Yeah.
definitely the place to be for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. So on that same kind of note, where's the craziest place that you met a client?
Oh, the craziest place that I met a client? Probably at Sugar, honestly. I really wasn't
Really?
expecting to be at Sugar, just right around the corner from here.
At the East
And
Hotel?
yeah, and it was an investor client. For whatever reason, we were buying a drink at the same time, waiting for the bartender, and we just sparked up a conversation and we started talking about a couple things. And yeah, one thing led to the next, and we had a deal
That's awesome.
in the
That's
next
true
couple of weeks. It
Miami
was great.
fashion.
It really was. It really
Yeah.
was. We ordered the same drink. That's what the funny part was.
Nice.
We were like, you know what? Get two of those.
Honestly, that's the thing about Miami also is real estate is such a personality business that you have to click with the person. You have to find
Absolutely.
someone who has the same kind of work style as you,
Yeah.
same communication style as you.
Yeah.
You have to be compatible.
Yeah.
And so you can meet them at the most unlikely places, but you're both at the same place for the same reason. So
Exactly.
you got a little bit in common at least.
Exactly. The social aspect is huge. If you don't, just having a personality that's really open and willing to hear somebody else, not just listening to respond, but like listening to understand people,
Yes,
that's
yes.
huge. Because
It really
like I said
is.
earlier, like you never know who you're gonna meet, you never know what they're gonna teach you. So as long as you keep an open ear and you're willing to learn, you can always catch something here. for
Yeah,
sure.
and then there's that balance of not wanting to talk too much about work, that you don't want work to follow you, but at the same time, when you do what you love,
Yeah.
it comes out.
It's a lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, you
when
can't
you're
avoid it.
talking, Yeah, when you're talking, it always comes up.
It's
because-
fun to talk about work because when
Exactly.
you're making money, it's fun. I
Right,
wouldn't talk about
yeah, yeah,
anything else
yeah.
because it's what we do all day. But when somebody else sees eye to eye with you and they share that love and that passion for what they do, it's just great.
And
It's really
thankfully,
great.
the industry we're in isn't too boring. Everyone can relate
It's
to it.
definitely far from boring.
Yeah.
Our industry's, it's the best.
I agree.
It's an excuse to talk to any and everybody at the same time. That's great.
That's awesome. All right, so In Miami, there are a lot of real estate agents, real estate professionals, mortgage brokers, things of that nature. Everyone's trying to meet clients.
It's true.
The only way to separate yourself is to stand out in one way or another.
Yeah.
For us, what we did is we focused on condo financing. That's our niche. That's what we got really good at. We obviously do all sorts of loans and love doing all sorts of loans, but especially Yusuf, when he saw a need for someone who was really good at condo financing, understanding the nuances of it, all of the ins and outs of it specifically, especially here in South Florida, he realized, all right, I'm gonna be that guy. And that's how he started out, how he got known, how everyone knows him, and that's what we did. What do you do as an agent to stand out?
So, well, to begin with, I hustle every opportunity. I came from investment real estate, so it was like a 9 to 5 on the phone guy, 9 to 8 o'clock sometimes. Honestly, I didn't go home till I got a deal. But once I got out of that rat race of cold calling and I took those skills and started helping people with it, it really changed everything for me. So whether it be residential, commercial, or even some investment opportunities out of state, I just have a really big understanding of what business is and how to provide a really good service. And I think that my clients, at least all my clients that I've worked with, what they love about me is the service that they get. Not only do they get a friend, because I'm a very friendly dude, I'm always helping people out for the better of them. It's not really about the deals, it's more about the people for me. So whether I have to take a cut on commission to get a deal done, that's okay, because I'm making sure that I get my clients' goals achieved. And that's really what it is. So as far as like how you stand out is the type of service that you deliver, because anybody could get their license overnight. It's not a hard test, even though I failed it a couple times. but it's really the service. Like, how do you set yourself apart from everybody else? Is how you deliver. Delivery is everything.
So that's once you've met the client and you're working with them, they get to see that service. But before you even meet the client, to showcase yourself to potential clients and get them to want to give you a chance, is there anything that you advertise or you let them know, hey, I have this experience, these skill sets, this is what I do? Maybe your main thing is just meeting face to face, charming them a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. My biggest asset is like my skills in communication. So a lot of my clients, for my listings at least, I've cold called them. You get a call from me and it's, oh, you don't hang up on me right away. For whatever reason, I keep them on the phone, and then all of a sudden I'm meeting you, and I guess I kind of charm you in a little bit, and then you're understanding like, no, I can trust this guy with my business. And then my record speaks for itself. I have the past sales and everything to show you that I know what I'm doing. And then you also just feel comfortable with me, because I keep it straight with anybody. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, yeah, we could sell your house for this much, when really that's not where the market is. It's not about listings. And we're not in the listing. People think that, oh, I have a bunch of listings that I'm doing. It's about selling, right? So you can accumulate listings, but you want to sell. So I think that for the most part, a lot of people like working with me for that reason. I'm very truthful and honest about the business that I do with them, and that way that there's nothing that's not unknown. Even if it's a hard thing to tackle at first, right? You don't want to speak about it. It needs to be spoken about. So you've got to connect with them either by a call or in person, and that's how you make sure that they become your client, that they're not going to find another one of the million realtors out there. Yeah, absolutely. And obviously people go about their business and they interview a few people, but I like to think that I stand out. And then for my own reasons, who I am and the values that I have, and if it aligns with them, then we do business. And if it doesn't, that's totally okay. Maybe you give me a call in a couple months when you come to your senses, but
everyone looks good on paper, but I agree it's really important to actually connect with a person one-on-one, whether it's over the phone or face-to-face, because that's how you really figure out if they're comfortable working with you. It's a big deal to buy a home, whether you're an investor and you've done it a million times, or if you're a first-time home buyer. Either way, you want to make sure that the person you're working with, you feel comfortable with them, you guys connect and click on that level. You don't want communication to be more work than it's worth. You don't want to keep having to explain yourself or not really be on the same wavelength or same page. And when you talk to someone, usually right off the bat, that first time, you can tell, are we compatible? Are we going to work out? Is everything going to be easy and comfortable, or is it going to be a painful process?
Yeah, exactly. And a house isn't a box of donuts. It's probably somebody's biggest purchase, whether, like you said, whether they're a first-time investor, first-time home buyer, or an investor that's well-seasoned. You want to make sure that you know your stuff, because these people are going to trust you with their decision. Ultimately, the decision's on them But it's up to you to steer them the right way.
Yeah, you're going to be their biggest ally through all of it.
Yeah.
So they need to know that you're on their team and that they want you on their team.
Yeah, exactly. And it's relationship based. You have to have a good relationship with your client, because sometimes you are going to have to deliver that bad news, or like I said earlier, something you don't want to speak about, but it has to be spoken about, and they have to trust you in knowing that what you're telling them is the truth, or what you're telling them is something that they need to think about and consider before they make a big decision. So
Agreed.
Huge.
Awesome, cool. All right, so I know you recently switched brokerages, and I know that can be a controversial thing.
Yeah.
Some people see a lot of value in that loyalty, but then at the same time, you don't want things to get stale. How's that experience been for you?
So for me, I think that the last brokerage I was with, because it was fresh out of an investment company, it was just a stepping stone for me to get into traditional real estate and see where I wanted to be. But to answer your question, the loyalty between a brokerage is really a loyalty to yourself. Because at a certain point, things may start out all rainbows and sunshine, and then a couple weeks later, like, this really isn't a good fit for me. But you shouldn't really stay somewhere where you don't feel is a good fit. If you need to move because it's best for you, it's best for your business.
Yeah.
So this switch from my last brokerage, which I won't name, but over to Sirhan, it was one of the biggest and hardest decisions ever, because if you are going to make that step, you really want to make sure that you're making the right step.
Yeah,
you never know.
You don't want to be bouncing around, branding changes.
Right, because it looks bad for business, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the realtor that has 4 different brokerages in the span of a couple months and you don't have any sales. Like, nobody wants that. So if you are going to make the decision, it has to be calculated, and it has to be, you really got to ask yourself, is this the right place for me? When I landed at Sirhan, I already knew, like, it was the best place for me. It was a couple months in the making. We met a few people, a few agents from there that made us feel really comfortable, my sister and I, and it was at networking events. Crazy enough, right? Networking events, you meet these people, and then, like, you just like their vibe, and that you very much align with those type of agents.
Yeah.
And that brought us there. It's not that we get any special treatment or anything like that. It's more about how we feel.
Exactly.
It's the community
same with the clients finding an agent. It's really a compatibility thing.
Yes,
you want to make sure you're in a place that feels right, and when you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So other than that compatibility, is there anything specific you looked for when you were thinking of switching brokerages, or did this kind of just happen?
Aside from the community and the compatibility, it was definitely tech. I think tech is a huge thing in 2024, 2025. If you have an outdated CRM or things like that, it's just, you're not going to do business as well as you should be, right? There's tools as realtors. You could be as great as you are, but if you don't have the right tools, you're not going to be able to do as much work at the volume that you need to be successful. So I think with Sirhan being the #1 followed real estate brand in the world, I think right now, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows who Ryan Sirhan is. Owning Manhattan's on Netflix. Like, everybody knows.
Right.
So I wanted to put myself somewhere where it was like I was on the spotlight.
Brand recognition is big.
Brand recognition is big. And there's big names, Douglas Elliman, Compass, KW, but who's new, who's fresh? And that's what I wanted, because when I'm coming onto the scene, even though I've been in real estate for over 7 years and I have a record, I wanted to, in a sense, recreate myself. And what better way to recreate yourself than that new brand that everybody's, oh, what are they about?
Yeah.
And Sirhan's big in New York, and now they're becoming really big in Miami. So I had a chance to become one of the first, not one of the first agents, but like pretty much one of the first people to really blow it up. And it's been going really well. I love it.
That's awesome. That's a huge thing for us too. That's why our motto is a modern lending experience. We definitely see the value in focusing on the tried and true, getting back to the basics, and there's always going to be things that are going to be a part of our business from day one until day forever. Exactly. But at the same time, we are constantly trying to improve, especially technology-based, seeing how we can simplify things, make it just better overall. Things work and they're great, but how can we make it better every single day?
Trial and error.
Exactly, and also not letting the majority be just your focus. Although things are the basics, the tried and true things, a lot of people, it applies to them. There's also unique and specialized opportunities that people don't really focus on, that bigger companies or older companies don't really focus on adapting, changing, enhancing, because it might not apply to the mass majority of people. But then you can open up who can be your client by adding in new things, new technology, new products, new services, new ideas, just changing things up.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. I couldn't agree more. So
a lot of people always ask me what it's like working with my big brother and how we don't strangle each other from day to day. And it's funny because I absolutely love working with my brother. He's my best friend. He's the person I trust the most. Obviously, it's not sunshine and rainbows every day because it couldn't be, but it's really such a blessing to work with him. But I know people say don't mix business with family or business with friends. And what we have in common is you also work with your sister.
Exactly.
So how's that for you?
It's great. At first, it really wasn't. It was tough, right? We used to butt heads a lot, but once we started seeing eye to eye and realizing that we really have the same goal in mind, and we said, hey, you're really good at this stuff.
Yes.
I'm not that good at that. You handle that, and I'm good at this. Let me handle this. Then we were able to like get together and really start doing business together. And it was
synergy.
good. Yeah, once you grow out of, hey, you're my little sister, you're my big bro, let's like fight all the time, and you start working together, it's better than any partnership I've ever had, right?
Exactly.
Because we're blood, and blood's thicker than water. So at the end of the day, I know I can trust my sister, that she has my best intention in mind. Whereas other people, strangers, even if they could be your friends for a really long time, you never know. Everybody's out for themselves and their own family. So working with your family is really just a blessing because you can count on them.
And I love what you said is she knew what she was good at and you know what you're good at, because I also feel that way about Yusuf and I. You kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You get that balance of someone who's really experienced, but then someone who's a little younger and a little more fresh. Or, or even just our personality type. Some agents I connect better with, some agents he connects better with, same with clients. And it's like you
work both ends of the spectrum.
Right, you find what you're good at and you bring it together, and then you can give a 2-for-1.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
You get me, you also get him. You get him, you also get me.
And the best part about it is it stays in the family. When we go out to networking events and we're working a room, I know that whatever business she earns is my business too.
Same here.
It's like cheating, but it's cool. It works out for us. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, and it is so much easier to network and meet people when you're with your brother or your sister.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so nice. We got a good storyline. It makes it memorable. People are always going to remember you.
Yeah, they remember the siblings that what's going on with them? Okay, we can hang out with them. They're cool people.
It's awesome. Yeah, sibling duos for the win.
Sibling duos for the win. I don't think that I've had any partner that I've been able to just bounce ideas off and understand me as well as my sister. We grew up together. She knows what I'm thinking even before I spit it out. You know?
Exactly.
So it's great. It's really a blessing.
It really is. Awesome. But then on that same kind of note, your legacy, your mom, your aunts, I guess some of your maybe cousins are involved in real estate as well. How did that kind of impact your decision to go into it? Did you feel like you wanted to become a realtor even more because of it, or maybe you were a little against it?
No, I remember in high school, because I would see my mom and she was always like, it was like she was spreading herself really thin, like she was going over here for showings, over here for showings. Sometimes I would tag along and I'd be like, oh my God, another open house mom. I mean, she wasn't a single mom. I had my dad. My dad was always busy too, so sometimes I was getting dragged to the open houses or the showings.
Oh my God.
You know, she had me on a leash because I was uncontrollable, right? But as I grew up, I didn't resent real estate, but I was like, no, I want to do something else. And then little did I know it was in my blood to be a realtor. I was just a natural social butterfly. I was really good at making friends, really good at making conversation, and that just really just translates into real estate so easily. And it's a really big skill that if you master that, you can do so well. You can apply it to anything in business. So being in real estate as a legacy, like I really got to see all of the things that my mom did wrong and all the things she did right, and I got to apply that to my business. I make my own mistakes too, and we're all living and learning.
There's always something new.
Absolutely, but just that first-hand experience of her giving her clients the best service I've ever had, because my mom's a huge database realtor, right? There's realtors that get new business all the time, like myself. I'm always on the phone cold calling for new business, but she's heavy into her database. Like her referral network is huge. She's done business with like 4 or 5 generations of the same family.
Wow.
The grandparents, the parents, the kids, and now the kids have kids, like they need a new house. That's something that I brought into my business. It's like that service that I'm delivering to my people. I don't want to just do a one and done deal. And like, oh, he was cool, like he was all right, but like, if another agent comes by that we like a little more, maybe no. Like it's that loyalty that you gave them such a good service that like, no, they're gonna give you a call. They're gonna give me a call. So I think that definitely being a legacy agent helped out a lot, and it's going to echo throughout the rest of our business foundation and what we grow more, because we're really just starting out.
Yeah, it's also pretty nice to have someone to maybe bounce your ideas off of.
Yeah.
You know, you come into a situation where you don't really know what to do.
Yeah.
And you can always ask your mom regardless of what her job is, but someone who's always been in the same industry, dealing with the same kind of things, and maybe if she hasn't dealt with a specific issue, at least she's been around the block. She knows how it goes.
Right. She's had this nightmare deals that she definitely has like really good advice for.
That's nice.
Like condos are a pain in the butt sometimes dealing with these HOAs or these special reserves. I had no clue selling my first one. It's like a $250,000 condo, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy. Little did I know it was the worst deal ever. It was such a nightmare, and if I didn't have her help and her guidance through that one, who knows if that would have closed. You know, who knows?
And clients sometimes can tell by your confidence too. Your confidence gives them their confidence.
Absolutely.
So when you're a real agent, there's nothing you can really do other than either fake it or just try your best. So I guess having that kind of support of knowing, hey, even though I don't directly have that experience, I don't have the years that I need to, or I don't have the knowledge that I need to, someone who's really close to me that I really trust and they know what they're doing, they can supervise.
We can leverage their experience for sure. To this day, even if it's my deal, I'll still put my mom on the deal just because it's how family works, right? So she's always part of every single deal, transaction that I do. Obviously I have my own investments and stuff that are going on that she's not a part of, but especially for residential or these luxury listings that we're coming into, it's always good to have somebody at just a higher experience level, like you said, to be there, bounce ideas off of, right? Obviously she comes from a much more like older traditional way of real estate, and that's why we're in our own brokerage now and we're finding our own path. But sometimes you got to go back to that foundation to really give that delivery that you need to these people, because at the end of the day, the deal's either going to close or it's not. And even if it's raining outside, we got to put a smile on our face. And we got to make sure that we're giving the right message to our clients. We're giving the right advice. And that's our job as realtors, is like, even in the face of a lot of adversity, we have to make sure that we stay strong and we see the clear path to
and
a closing.
optimistic too as well. Even when everything's crumbling, you
gotta be super optimistic.
Keep the optimism high, because we don't want our clients to feel that pain. That's what we're here for. We're here to handle the situations that we don't want to handle, that we don't want them to have to handle, but we've got to.
And real estate's full of adversity, man. It's not easy. People think that because we're all happy all the time, we're closing deals, it's easy. It's not easy. There's a lot going on in the background that we don't like to show you guys, that we're handling, and we're just making sure that you guys have a great experience.
People also don't understand what it takes to get to that point where first you gotta find the client, prospect them, convert them, then you gotta find them the place, you gotta get them under contract, all the negotiations. Once they're under contract, that's when everything
that's all the surprises come out.
Exactly. And you gotta get them through that full 30 days or however long, where every single day it's maybe something different. There's no way to have a predictable real estate transaction.
It's never smooth sailing, even though like we really do a lot to make sure that you guys feel like it is, but it's never smooth sailing. Like you said,
there's no way around it. It
could be like 30 days until we close, and every day there's something new. Up to those 30 days, something pops up.
And that's the point. Real estate is very rewarding, and it's definitely not easy. Working with people that you work with consistently, that you can trust, that have good communication, that makes it a lot easier. But that whole like surprises or navigating issues as they pop up, that's something that everyone has to do, no matter how much experience you have. There's always going to be things that you can't predict until the day comes where it's time to deal with it.
There's a lot of legalities involved, and people don't understand that. There's a lot of for sale by owners out there, and they get the job done. Maybe they sell their house, probably not for as much as we could have sold their house for, but if there's a situation that pops up and you don't have somebody by your side that's a professional in this field that knows how to handle that, you can find yourself in some pretty deep, muddy waters or some legal issues. And for the most part, realtors take the brunt of that when you work with us. But if you're not working with us, who's there to help you?
Exactly. There needs to be someone who understands the process and has done it over and over again. So look out for your best interest as a client, because at the end of the day, there's a million different things that could go wrong, and you're there as their ally to help make sure that they protect themselves, that they do what's best for them, or that they make sure that things that could go wrong that you can prevent don't go wrong, and then the things that you can't prevent also, you make sure to take care of it in the best way possible so it doesn't result in more
100%.
issues, or just so that it doesn't kind of leave them shit out of luck.
Pretty much.
It's
crazy. The Miami market's been correcting recently. There's a lot of inventory. I think it's like becoming very saturated, like in Brickell or these places where there's a lot of new developments coming, delivering like, I don't know, let's say 10,000 units at a time. But I do see like a large influx of people leaving these cities like Brickell, especially Miami Beach, and they're coming to Broward. Right?
Really?
Miami's getting really expensive. Like I said, these new developments are all in competition with each other.
Yeah, it's not just Brickell and South Beach anymore.
No, Sunny Isles, like you name it, Aventura, all these places have new buildings popping up, and they're trying to be bigger and badder than the last place. And bigger and badder means more expensive. So Miami's definitely attracting a lot of wealth, not just from New York, California, or whatever wealthy states are here in the U.S., but also from Europe.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
We have a lot of
foreign national clients lately.
Absolutely. And they're starting to see that the average investor can't really make the same ROI in Miami. They have to go somewhere else. But you want to stay in Florida, right? So they're going to Broward, they're going to the Palm Beaches, they're going to these other spots of Florida that are starting to see more development, right? D.R. Horton or these other developers, they're building cities at a time, like in different parts of Florida, and it's crazy. Those places are much cheaper, but they're delivering high quality, like perfect homes for starter families that just can't seem to find that price point here in South Florida.
Yeah, I think that there was like, whenever South Florida started to become the hot spot and everyone wanted to buy here, either you got in when you did, or now you're like, wait a second, did all of the great opportunities already get taken up? And everyone is looking for a deal. Everyone wants a deal.
Everybody wants a deal.
Everyone thinks that the buying real estate isn't just about buying real estate, it's about, I don't know, making residual income or getting a deal that was maybe a deal in the COVID times. But so I definitely find that interesting that it's expanding outside of just Brickell and South Beach, that there's opportunities for people now in new, more
emerging markets. Yeah,
emerging markets that aren't necessarily as robust or as competitive or as populated as this area here, but it will be over time. And I think that's kind of happening in Tampa too, where Tampa is like maybe midway through that rise to one of the top cities.
100%. And that's why you really do need somebody that understands the market to give you, especially as a buyer coming to Florida, whether you're a foreign national or coming from a different state, you really need to know somebody to guide you properly through that process, because there's so many things out here that if you don't know what's good, you might just end up making a bad decision or a rush decision, or just working with somebody that doesn't really understand the market and is looking to close a deal.
Yeah, there is opportunity for real estate investment and return on investment and great properties and a great deal all over Florida. And knowing somebody who understands the future and the potential of properties, doesn't just think about the short term. Today, can you rent it out for more than your mortgage payment is? No, it's not just that. It's,
can you Airbnb it? Is it even allowed to be Airbnb?
Or what's the appreciation going to be like down the line? What's the future look like for this type of property? So you're not just looking at today, what's the most popular place or where's everyone going to want to buy. It's thinking with the future in mind, making sure that you're getting in on opportunities before it's too late or before everybody wants that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take Miami Gardens, for example, the one that's close, the area closest to like Hard Rock Stadium, right? Nobody wanted to live in Miami Gardens a couple years ago. 5 years ago, you could buy a place in Miami Gardens, a 3.2, 4.2, something like that for like under 200,000. Now, those places are pushing 500,000-600,000, maybe more. Since it's been a little while since I checked. But these are the places that are emerging, and you would have never known.
Yeah, you really got to see the potential, or at least work with someone who can see that potential.
Absolutely.
That's the whole point. You don't want something that's worth a lot right now because you're buying it right now.
Right, exactly.
You want it to be something that's going to appreciate over time, and it's going to be, when you sell it, you're going to get that equity that you have in it, and you're going to feel good about when you bought it. But it might take some time, and you also have to
trust. Or even if it's expensive, you buy into something that's worth it, because a lot of these name brands, these developers that are delivering these new projects, like I said, they're trying to be bigger and badder than the last one. How do you even choose, right? You got Ora by Casa Tua, Mercedes, Cipriani, or Baccarat. These are all names, and they're all amazing. You look at the renders for these places, and they can blow your mind, but like, how do you make the decision? It depends on who you're working with. How are they going to steer you to make the right choice for you?
Exactly, and your goals. Are they short-term goals? Are they long-term goals? What do you want out of this property?
Exactly. So
awesome.
that's big.
That was great. That was great. Glad you shared that. Okay, cool.